The member for Warren Blackwood.
Thank you, Acting Speaker. It is an honour today to rise to speak for the first time in Parliament as the member for Warren Blackwood. This is still all a bit surreal, and when I think of all those that have stood in this position before me, I would like to congratulate the rest of class of 2025 on their successful election campaigns, along with the members of the House who have been re-elected back into the Legislative Assembly to form the 42nd Parliament of Western Australia. To my National Party colleagues, Mr Shane Love, member for Mid West and the Leader of the National Party, Mr Pete Rundle, member for Roe and Deputy Leader of the National Party, the Honourable Mayor Davies, former member for Central Wheatbelt, the Honourable Martin Ulrich and the Honourable Colin de Grassa, both members for the Agricultural Regions and the Legislative Council. Let me acknowledge and put on record my thanks for all they have contributed to the National Party, the Parliament and the state of Western Australia over the past 4 years and the many years before that. You should all be extremely proud of the way you have represented the National Party, your electorates and the people you stand up for. I look forward to spending the next 4 years working with Shane, Peter and our new National Party team members. Lachlan Hunter, member for Central Wheatbelt, Kirrilly War, member for Geraldton and Scott Leary, member for Albany in the Legislative Council Assembly and my good roommate. Also to welcoming Julie Freeman and Rob Horseman in the Legislative Council. To my Liberal Party colleagues, it has been a pleasure to meet you and I look forward to what we can achieve together over the next 4 years as a cohesive team. The National and the Liberal parties will work together to provide a united opposition to hold the government to account, focusing on achieving better outcomes for the people of West Australia rather than just political point scoring. To the Premier and the Labor Party, congratulations on winning the 2025 election. We live in one of the most prosperous places in the world. All our citizens should be able to feel that prosperity, and it is our responsibility as the 42nd Parliament of West Australia to make sure that we use the state's resources to ensure world-class education, healthcare and the preservation of a strong and healthy environment and economy for our people, regardless of where they live. And this is what I hope working with the government will achieve. I stand here today not as a career politician, but as a third-generation farmer from Manjimup, a business owner, a husband of 27 years and a proud father of 2. Farming is my family's history. It is in our blood. As a profession, it teaches you to be humble. When it comes to working with Mother Nature, you realise how insignificant you are in the bigger picture of how the world works. Farming teaches you that you must work with nature rather than against it. And if you ever start to get ahead of yourself, then you're usually brought back to the ground with an almighty thud and a hard lesson learned. Farming in the Manjimup area is different in any other farming district in Western Australia. There is an old saying that it used to rain 9 months of the year and drip off the trees for the other 3 months. Manjimup has a high rainfall, usually anywhere from 850 millimetres to 1100 millimetres a year. This, along with our Mediterranean climate, means we can just about grow anything. We've seen many industries come and go over the years. The region was once a large tobacco producing area in the 1960s before the industry closed. Peas, beans and cauliflowers were other industries that followed. However, due to cheaper imported products or other countries flooding our export markets with cheaper produce, those industries have fallen by the wayside as well. The diversity of what you can grow in the region has meant that as a farmer, you're constantly changing and adapting to new opportunities. On our family farm, we have tried many things. From stone fruit orchards to aquaculture, the opportunities are endless, as long as you like hard work and have the will to succeed. Currently, my family's farm produces beef cattle, sheep for wool and fat lamb production, potatoes, pumpkins, cauliflowers, sweet corn and more. The kind of produce that feeds our state and underpins our economy. Having such a diverse farming family business means you have to learn to do most things yourself. The old saying of a farmer is a jack of all trades and a master of none probably applies here. Being a cattle farmer, I've learnt to be able to see the bullshit from a distance. Something that people have said that may come in handy in my new career as a politician. You may be all wondering how a lifelong farmer gets the honour and privilege of representing the Warren Blackwood electorate in Parliament. Believe me when I say I'm still wondering that as well. I think it comes from the fact that when I left school, I was always told, don't whinge about the situation unless you are prepared to do something about it. If you're in the position where you can help, then you simply must. You need to walk the walk and not just talk the talk. Effort equals reward, and if you want something or want to change something, then you need to work for it. No one will do it for you. This mentality has seen me join various industry committees and community groups over the years. I've always tried to give our community and industry groups better representation and achieve outcomes that are fairer for all. What drives me today is what's always driven me, to be useful, to contribute, and to speak plainly and honestly for the people I represent. So I'll tell you a little bit about my electorate. Warren Blackwood is the home to more than 43,000 residents spread across forests, farms, inland and coastal towns. The Warren Blackwood electorate is like no other in the state. It is made up of 6 shires: Augusta Margaret River, Boyart Brook, Bridgetown Greenbushes, Denmark, Manjimup and Nannup, amounting to over 86,000 square kilometres. Nothing compared to Lockie's and Pete's, so for me it's still pretty big. Yeah, exactly. Augusta, Margaret River, Denmark and Nannup being 3 of the fastest growing shires in West Australia. It is truly a diverse electorate, from canola and wheat cropping in Boyart Brook, truffles in Manjimup, the surf and vineyards in Margaret River, the Karri forests of Pemberton, the Walpole wilderness and the world famous beaches of Denmark. It is truly a remarkable region. It is no wonder that many people from all walks of life have decided to call these places home. Our region is becoming more famous worldwide for its quality produce and beautiful landscapes. It is a growing tourism industry as more and more people want to experience this firsthand for themselves. This is a challenge that we're facing, being able to share our region with visitors and more people who want to call it home. That's Scott's fire alarm.
Sorry.
That's all right. He owes me a carton of beer, surely. He couldn't be any closer. I think so. I think I've got free beer for the next 4 years. So this is a challenge that we're facing, being able to share our region with visitors and more people who want to call it home, whilst protecting what makes it so great. It's a place where 1 in 7 people are aged over 65. Agriculture, forestry and tourism are core industries, and the unemployment rate is low and community spirit is high. Our region is beautiful, but it is also ageing, underserviced and facing significant challenges in housing, access to healthcare, road safety and youth retention. I will be a voice for all of us: business owners, farmers, retirees, tourism operators, tree changers, the people who want to preserve our environment and the kids who deserve every chance to stay and thrive in the towns that they grew up in. I have seen many of the highs and lows whilst door knocking over the last 12 months. I've had 2 dog bites and then been in a tricky position of knocking on the door of a hens party that was just starting to get into full party mode. So I got out unscathed. But the thing that resonated most with me was when I knocked on the door of a lady that just received the news that she had been given the all clear from cancer. This lady had been dealt a rough hand. Her partner had left her as he couldn't face the months of cancer treatment that they were going to go through. This meant that she was working 2 jobs to get through life and her cancer treatment. For her to face that alone was a truly remarkable. From personal experience, I understand how difficult that battle is. She was so grateful that someone had knocked on her door and that took the time to listen to her issues. When she saw our election commitments around health, she was overjoyed and what that would mean for her, the difference that those policies would make to her life and others in a similar situation. This resonated with me as I realised that if I was fortunate enough to get elected, that I could really make a difference in someone's life. To now find myself in this position where I'm no longer just another candidate, but a Member of Parliament, I'm in a position that can help people. I will not take this for granted, and this opportunity will not be wasted. I and every Member of Parliament need to roll up our sleeves, get to work, and we must never forget that we are representing all the people of Western Australia. So why am I here? I came to this chamber with no interest in political point scoring. My aim is to fight for the environment, water and food security. As a former chair of the West Australian Water Users Coalition, I've long argued that water policies need to be practical, not political. Our irrigation districts are vital. We must secure supply, invest in smarter systems, protect our food-producing regions and environment as we face a drying climate. Forest management done right. The native forestry ban has caused pain. Our forests have had too much human interference over the years, which means we cannot simply lock up the forests and walk away. There are introduced weeds and pests, along with overplanting of clear-felled areas that are now restricting environmental water flows from our rivers and streams. We are facing a drying climate, and if we don't invest significantly in maintaining the health of our forest and manage our forest ecosystems better, we will lose something that we love but may take for granted. If we don't act now, forest health will decline and will turn into a tinderbox. In years to come, I don't want to be standing in a town hall somewhere in our electorate telling people that we've lost lives or properties due to a bushfire that could have been prevented if only we had taken action now. Farming resilience. Climate change is real and it is hitting regional WA. We need practical policies to build drought resilience, improve soil health and keep family farms viable. This is not ideology, it's about survival, and this affects the lives of both country and city people. Property rights from homeowners, landowners and farmers. With government overreach, we are being told what they can and can't do on our land, some of which we've been managing for generations. The balance is tipped too far. I will fight for fair land use laws and personal freedoms that respect rural knowledge and experience. Access to aged and health care. With a high proportion of older residents than the state average, we need better access to GPs, allied health and aged care. I'll advocate for regional health initiatives that work. And keeping our young people. Some of our schools in our electorate are past capacity. Youth are leaving because they can't see a future in their hometowns. Let's expand training, improve digital infrastructure and back industries and create real jobs close to home. Let's make it easier for young people to turn good ideas into great businesses, because moving to the city shouldn't be the only option that they see as an opportunity. My approach will be guided by three simple principles. Local values. I will listen first and speak only after an understanding. Trusted leadership. I will lead by example, show up in person and be accountable to my constituents. An unwavering advocacy. I will speak up without fear or favour for the electorate of Warren Blackwood. For my final words, throughout my life, I've always had the privilege of working with family. I started out working with my parents, Ron and Alan. They set the example for what honest, hard work can achieve. They instilled a very strong work ethic in me. Then my wife Vicky joined us for time on the farm before she started managing our off-farm business. Then our son Ewan graduated from Harvey Ag College and returned to the family farm, something he's very passionate about, bringing his new ideas and goals, building on what we've created. This gave me the confidence to know that if I was elected, I could step aside from the farm and focus on my energy into representing the people of Warren Blackwood. Our daughter Bronwyn decided to leave the big city and head to university, but with a twist of fate ended up working for the National Party. You can take a girl out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the girl. Over the past 12 months, I was trying to do everything from running the farm and helping with the business, as well as juggling being a candidate and campaigning across such a large electorate. During this time, I continue to have the privilege of working with my family, something I enjoyed immensely. When I was working on the farm, I had the pleasure of my son Ewan telling me what to do. When I was campaigning, I had my daughter Bronwyn telling me what to do, when to do it, and the constant reminder of the power of social media and why can't I remember to take photos when I'm out campaigning. To top it all off, my wife Vicky was always willing to give me additional direction at home. This meant that I didn't have to wait too long before someone told me what to do, what I needed to be doing and where I would be doing it. But seriously, I wouldn't be here without their support. The days when you find yourself struggling for motivation or questioning why you're doing this, they supported me, encouraged me, and it feels like some days force me to keep going. There are a few other people who have also helped me to get where I am today who must be acknowledged. I will start with my campaign team, my wife Vicky, my daughter Bronwyn, Andrew McRae, Heidi Tempera, Anna Sobchik, and for the last couple of weeks, Mia Geddes from New South Wales. A special mention also to Vishmi De Silva for your assistance and advice. It wouldn't have happened without all your support. Ed and Carol Vallum, you introduced me to the National Party and encouraged me to pursue politics. The Honourable Terry and Marie Redmond, who have given me advice and shared the reality of what I was getting myself into, thank you. To the people across the electorate that I had never met, that didn't know me from a bar of soap, but believed in me and what I was trying to achieve with the National Party. There are too many to mention, but I'm here today because of your effort and support. I will never forget what you've done for me. To have complete strangers that I've never met before give up their time to introduce me to people in their community, to have them step forward and offer me help, really was quite overwhelming. I'm proud to say that there are no longer strangers, but now it's a privilege to call them my friends. They believed in what the National Party stood for, what I stood for, and what I was trying to achieve. Without their support, I wouldn't have been elected, and I can't thank them enough. To my friends in the National Party, I won't mention them all as it takes too long, but they know who they are. I will do my best to make you all proud, and it is truly humbling to be here today as part of the Parliamentary National Party. Acting Speaker, in closing, I draw inspiration from those who came before me, not just in this place, but back home. My parents, friends and colleagues who gave their time on local boards and community projects, I reckon I'll beat it, without seeking attention or reward. I didn't come here to climb a ladder. I came to build bridges between the city and the country, between the old ways and the new ideas, between those in power and those too often left out. Warren Blackwood deserves a future where families can stay together, where workers are valued and local businesses can thrive, and where the land is looked after, because once it's gone, it can never be replaced. The people of Warren Blackwood can be confident in our future, to know that as the places we live in change over time, that I'll do everything I can to ensure that the people living in these places will be supported. Because regional people should never be second-class citizens just because we live outside of the city. That is the work that I've come here to do. Let's work together to make this happen. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Get out everybody's way. Absolutely. Thank you.